I filmed some stuff of me doing some lunging over poles on my Instagram, and I got a huge response. Lots of questions, lots of how-to questions, that sort of thing. So I thought I would film a video for you guys. So the main thing that I struggled with when I've previously lunged horses over trot poles is them actually making it easier for themselves and just dodging out the side. By putting poles out at the side of the poles to help guide them in, you completely remove that possibility of them dipping out the side. So I just start with the trot pole distances. So with the pole set up like this, you can use them both in walk and trot. So in walk, you just encourage your horse to work slightly over the inner white part of the poles. You can see on the green pole, the white part nearest to us, and then on the blue pole, the white part nearest to us. And then with the trot, you encourage them to work over the middle of the poles. It'll be really obvious when I get a horse out and show you how to do it. So depending on how many poles you've got, I've got this exercise set up on one side of the arena and the other side. So when we work over the trot poles, it's really important that the poles are set on a bit of a curve so they angle in at the nearest part to you. This is so that you can help them on the curve of the circle, lifting the hind leg, really making sure that they stay bending. When we get to the canter pole distances, they do end up straighter. If you were to put them too curved, the circle would become too tight and you'd find that they wouldn't be able to maintain the canter stride. So have them a little straighter, how we've got them set up here. As you can see, they've got a much straighter angle. They're not so close together at the nearest point. So for this exercise, you're going to need one very tolerant chicken, one set of brushing boots, one lunge line, a bridle of your choice, a roller, and a pair of running reins. I'll tell you about these in a minute. What's up, Doris? So instead of a standard elasticated side rein, I have made a pair of running reins. These are quite popular in Europe and they're really, really good for a number of different reasons. So these are actually just a pair of old draw reins that I have cut the buckle off of. It's a bit cold and windy, that's why she keeps backing up. And what you do is you then just thread them through the bit, stand still. So thread them through the bit and then clip them on underneath. And that way you get a really nice moving rein rather than one that fixes them down or fixes them in one place. I'll show you how they work. So as you can see, they're really loose, but they are just encouraging her to drop her neck down and lift through her back and work the correct way up. Horses doing poles with their head up like this is not much use for anybody. I like to just clip my lunge line on one side. I find putting it over their head changes the action of the bit completely. Another variation of this exercise to make it a little bit more advanced, for maybe a slightly older horse that's really good off your voice commands, we can do canter poles on one side, trot poles on the other, so that we can ride that transition, not ride, but ask for that transition in the middle from canter down to trot, and then from the trot up to canter, working on both halves of the circle. This is really good for getting them using their core, activating the hind leg, and generally getting them working over their back through all the paces. of today's video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram. To get alerts for every time I post a video, hit the bell icon. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next week.